What's shaking Honda Force? I'm Fake Honda. Today we're going to be looking at another entry in the No Game No Life series presented by Good Smile Company. So before we get into the figures, be sure to hit the like button down below and let's do it. Bam, there we go. So, as you can see, here we have Shiro and Schwi from No Game No Life and No Game No Life 0, respectively. As you can see, they're both presented by Good Smile Company, more specifically, Phat Company. They make a lot of these, most if not all, actually. No. I would say most of these No Game No Life 0 character figures. Now, as far as the composition goes, looks pretty phenomenal. Yu Kamiya, the artist of No Game No Life, is just absolutely brilliant when it comes to color as well as composition. His style's very distinct in that regard. As you can see, some of the more finer details here. Let's just bump into some of the highlights. We have these cards that are predominantly featured in the series, just as far as stylization goes, circling both characters here. The base looks great. It's kind of a reddish orange almost. A lot of these Phat Company figures have this chessboard style base, and it's nice that they kind of keep a similar theme throughout the No Game No Life line of figures that they have. As I mentioned before, use of color, phenomenal, especially this beautiful gradation in the hair. Both of the hair just looks absolutely wonderful. Now, one interesting detail is the hair kind of comes together in this heart shape here. Isn't that cute? Well, I don't think it is. I think it's pretty lame, actually. But, hey, if you disagree, you can let me know in the comments below. Yeah, honestly, I kind of get what they were going for. I feel like in an illustration, something like this would look great, but in a figure, it just doesn't do it for me, especially because you have this seam line right here that kind of breaks the illusion for me. It just doesn't look as good as it probably should. So that's one con that I would say about this figure, maybe. As far as the hands go, honestly, I'm not like these hands in the back. If you can kind of see, these look fine. But as far as these hands in the front here, I don't know. They're just not doing it for me. It just doesn't look as natural as I think it should at this, especially at this price point. As far as some of the other details, the Shiro's crown looks really great. A lot of detail in this line of figures, especially also in Schwi's halo and her cybernetic parts, I guess. Their outfits are pretty, as you would expect. They're pretty, what's the word here? They resemble how they look in the series quite nicely. I think this figure captures the essence of both of these characters very nicely, apart from the things I've already mentioned. Moving on. Actually, yeah, that's about everything I had. Yeah, so, it looks great. Now, as far as the price goes, this figure is $378.99 US, so a little bit pricey, but probably the reason for that is because you're getting kind of two figures in one here. So I kind of get it. I don't think I've seen a figure with both of these characters together before, so this is sort of cool. Oh, man, it looks great from the back, too. Look at the hair. They always do the hair so dynamic on these No Game No Life figures. Just really, really brings it together. And even the cards. Look on the bottom side of the cards. You even have the art of the actual playing cards there. It's not just like a blank card on the back. Just really great attention to detail here. Now, as far as pre-ordering this goes, you can place a pre-order from June 28th, 2021 this year you have until August 18 of this year, which is a Wednesday. Well, for me in the United States anyway. Wednesday, midnight Pacific Standard Time. Now, this figure is actually going to be released not till November 2022, so as you can imagine, it's going to be a minute till you get it. That's kind of how buying figures goes these days, especially higher end figures. You got to pre-order like 3 years in advance. 3 years in advance, and then you finally... But you know what? You know what? I will say this. You do have to pre-order like really in advance, but when that figure comes, like when it gets to your doorstep, it is super hype. It's super hype. You get the package. You're like, today's the day. I've waited a year for this. And then you get the little notification. Your package is delivered. Bam, you go get it, crack it open. And it's great for like 10 seconds. And then you stick it on your shelf, and then you can enjoy it for as long as you need to enjoy it. Anyway, that's all I have for this figure. If you're picking this up, let me know down in the comments. Or if you're not, let me know in the comments anyway. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell. And I'll see you guys on the next figure news and reviews. Take it easy.